Hello, ghosties. You're listening to Not My Ghost.
Not my problem. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Jen.
Whether you're a skeptic, a true believer, or somewhere in between, join us for a journey into the unknown.
Because remember, when it comes to the paranormal, it may not be our problem.
But it's certainly someone's problem. I have another granddaughter on the way in March.
Yay!
Her name will be Gwendolyn.
Love that.
And I cannot wait to
Love
meet
that.
her. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Blossom will have a cousin.
Yay. Babies are
So
fun.
that's fun.
As long as they're someone else's baby.
Right.
Yeah.
Nah. I loved having my babies.
Welcome to our scripted, unscripted banter.
Yes. And we have some stories and some stuff before we even get into the episode.
We do. We got some spooky shit to share, guys. I want to stop saying the word guys. It's just been so ingrained to me, but like, it just comes so naturally. But I know, like, I hate it.
I struggled with that at work too. Like, because when I would call people, you're, ma'am, sir, could you? And I'm like, there's not a lot of good options that are like,
and guys has just always been like guys. Like, okay, guys, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
And I stopped it when I was a teacher, and I would say friends instead of like boys and girls.
That's what I will do.
But I feel like that's weird to say to like adults. Like, hi, friends.
I don't know. I think there are friends.
Yeah.
We'll have to come up with something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We do have some spooky shit to get into. But first, Jen, I want you to pick a number between 1 and 3.
3.
Okay. And then I want you to tell me to stop when you feel it. Or should you ask the question first?
I was just going to let you keep going.
Yeah, I know. I could tell by the smirk on your face.
Stop.
Okay. I want you to ask a question about the podcast.
A question about the podcast? Like, what kind of question?
I don't know.
The podcast ever going to be successful enough to where we actually make money off of it?
Okay.
Please don't say no.
The Page of Pentacles, which says ambition, desire, manifestation, and financial opportunity. The Page of Pentacles is a welcome message of new beginnings, a new job, business, bountiful finances, or more may be incoming. Now is the best time to develop a new skill or entrepreneurial venture.
Wow.
That was a really good answer.
That was a really good answer. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that tarot card pull. That was fun. We should do that more often.
We should.
Yeah.
Let's do that more often.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be questions about the podcast, obviously. Okay. So did you want to tell me something spooky or do you want,
I'll go first.
You have spookiness? Okay.
Because mine's short and it happened the same day one of your spooky things happened. Because that's the only thing I know about. Because you text me that morning or that day or what. I don't remember when you text me, but you text me and told me about it. So it was like earlier this week, last week. I don't remember. A little bit ago. And I get a text from Kelly saying something happened and she'll tell that in a minute. And I had an experience that night before where I was up late for whatever reason, and I was in my room. It was like past midnight, and I was just doom scrolling through Instagram like one does. And I was done doom scrolling. I put my phone down to charge, but I wanted to pee one last time before I went to bed. So the way my apartment is set up is very small, but I have my bedroom door, and that I keep closed when I go to sleep because I'm not a psychopath. And I opened the door, and when you open my bedroom door, right across the hall from my bedroom door is the bathroom. And then to the right is my kitchen and my like living area. And I opened the door. And at this point, like I have these little like LED lights around my house that go off at midnight. So usually when I'm up and I get up and go to the bathroom before I go to bed, the lights are still on, but this was much later than what I was used to. So the lights were off. So the room was dark. And I opened the door, and right in my kitchen, like in front of the fridge, I saw this figure. And I only saw it for like a half a second and it was gone, to the point where I'm like questioning myself, like, did I really see that? And I had not been asleep yet. So this was not me like waking up, like middle of the night
Right.
pee run where your eyes are heavy and you're really trying not to wake up. Like I had not gone to sleep yet. So it was just really weird and kind of like unsettling for me. And then, I went to the bathroom and went back, and I actually had to like turn my bedroom light on for a little bit before I felt comfortable enough in turning it off and going to sleep.
Hmm.
So that was weird because
That's
I have never really seen anything in my apartment. Like I've heard things, some other weird
yeah.
things has happened, but I've never seen anything. But it was so quick that it was hard to it was and it wasn't like a dark shadow. It was lighter than the darkness. Oh, I was like, "Holy shit, is your bedroom door just opening, Kelly?"
Jen
I
Jen thought you were a ghost.
I was like, "Your
She was like,
bedroom
"Holy
door just
shit."
opened." So for those wondering what the fuck that was, Kelly's daughter just came into her podcast room and brought her food, and I can see the door in, like, the corner of Kelly's screen, and I just hear the door, and then I see it open, and for, like, a good second, I don't see her daughter come through, so I'm like, "Did your door just fucking open? Like, what?"
So the same day that that happened to you, I had 2 things happen.
Oh, 2? I think you've only told me about 1.
2 things happened that day, and then another thing happened, like, the next day or the day after that.
Okay.
Saturday, I had lunch with my friend Denise. Hi, Denise. She
Hi,
listens.
Denise.
She's a listener of the podcast. So, I had come upstairs to get ready. I had to shower and everything. And I went in my bedroom and I closed my bedroom door because I was gonna take all my clothes off and get my robe on. So, before I just come in, I close the door and I walk to the other side of the room and I hear someone knock on my door, the bedroom door. And I said, "Come in." And nobody came in, but sometimes when I close the door, I lock it out of habit. So I'm like, "Maybe I locked it." So I went over and I opened the door. Now, the way this place is set up is if you come out of my bedroom door, directly to the right is the bathroom door. You don't even have to step out of my bedroom to see into the bathroom. You can just lean and look. As I'm opening the door, I see a figure walk into the bathroom. I immediately step into the bathroom and flip the light on. Nobody's there.
And the other thing I wanna point out with this is your bathroom has that creaky floorboard. So
Mhm.
if
And
a
you would hear it.
person you hear that in any room you are in upstairs. Like, even in
Yeah.
the podcast room,
And
because that
downstairs,
yeah,
really.
that was the room I stayed in, and when someone was in the bathroom, you could hear them if they were moving because that floor is so creaky.
It really is. So I go about my day and I go to lunch with Denise. And, I haven't seen Denise in like a year. So when we were done lunch, I was like, oh, let's like go do something else. Cause when you're sitting in a restaurant, I don't want to hold up a server's table when she could be getting new people in and getting tips on that table. That's just kind of rude
You're
to,
so respectful. I do that all the time.
um, if I know I'm going to do that, if I know I'm going to do it, I tell the server, "Hey, we're gonna hang out here. I'm gonna tip you very, very, very well because I understand we're taking your table." But
That's
I've
fair.
also waited tables.
Yeah, that's true.
So, we had gone out and we stopped at this, like, little I don't wanna say farmer's market. It's like a vegetable fruit and vegetable stand in the area. It's called Vince's. I love this place. It's close to where I used to live,
Okay.
where the old house was.
Yeah.
So as we're walking through, we're looking at everything, they have, like, this big, like, greenhouse thing, and sometimes they have stuff set up back there too. So I was like, "Oh, let's walk back in there and see see if they have anything." So we walk back, and there's just these 2 long tables on both sides that you kinda, like, walk down the middle of the 2 long tables, and they didn't really have a lot in there at all, but they had these things that are like, you they were these were Christmas ones because 'cause they'll put things out for Christmas too. They had, like, a little manger on it, and they're the things that it's got, like it's on a oh god, I can't think, words are hard right now, like a metal pole, and you put the pole in, and then during the day, it, like, gets the solar energy, and then it, like, lights up at night. So you can have, like, several of them on your walkway, and it'll light up
Yeah.
little light up manger scenes. And I'm hearing they have these just laid out on this table, and I'm hearing them move, and I'm looking over there, and nobody is the only 2 people in there are Denise and I, and we are 12 feet, maybe more away from where these things are. I'm hearing them move, and I'm like, "That's weird." And then I see one. Now Denise had turned her head, she didn't see this, but she could hear it. I see one lift up and then drop down.
What?
And I was like, "What the fuck? Did you just see that, Denise?" Blew my mind. We immediately go over there. I'm like, "What could have caused this thing to lift up?" There's nothing. It was lying flat on a table, and it just lifted up and then fell back down.
That's when I would have went to one of the employees and be like, "You guys have security cameras because we need to go watch this spooky shit right now."
It was crazy.
Or definitely asking them, "Is this place haunted?" Because it is. Or it could have been something following you from the house.
Could have been. That's what kinda what I was thinking. Now we're gonna get into the freaky shit.
That wasn't the freaky shit?
Um, mm-mm. This actually was almost unsettling to me.
Ooh, okay.
So, Nick and I are downstairs, it's nighttime. It's dark out. It's probably like 10:30 at night. He's sitting on the couch, and he's got one of the cats, Icarus, on his lap, and, maybe we'll put a picture of my kitties in this post.
Okay.
So he's got the white cat, Icarus, in his lap, and I've got Apollo laying on me.
I love Apollo.
Right. So Katie comes downstairs, and I said, "Hey, can you move him, Apollo, so I can" if they're laying on us, we're never the ones that make them move. We always make somebody else make them move so they don't
Okay.
hate us. So I'm like, "Can you, like, get him to move? Because yeah, I have to use the restroom." And she's like, "Sure." So she goes over and she, like, kinda touches him, and he, like, lifts his head up and looks at her, and he gets up, and he jumps down off of the chair, and he's just sitting there, and his tail, he's looking so you know how that where the chair is and where the big couch is, right?
Yeah.
He's looking over at the big couch, and his tail goes, and he flew through the air going like, "Rawr." And it scared Icarus. Icarus jumps up. Apollo leaps on Icarus because he's, like, flying over that way. Because it scared Icarus, he jumped on the back of the
When you
couch.
say that he flew, like, do you mean he jumped or that something moved him?
No, 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 he, like, leaped and,
Okay.
like, was, like, attacking something.
Okay.
There's nothing there. I'm looking over, there's nothing there. There's absolutely nothing there. It scares Icarus. Icarus jumps because he's, like, going like, "Rawr."
Yeah.
Icarus jumps on the back of the couch. Apollo hits Icarus because that's just, like, kinda where he lands.
That's a
They fall off
far
the back.
that's a far
Right.
jump.
They kind of fall off the back of the couch, and then you hear all this, like, "Rawr," cat stuff, and Katie, like, picks up Apollo, and she's like, I'm gonna take him upstairs," and his tail is still like this. It's huge. Cats, when they get scared, their tails
Oh,
poof
yeah.
up.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah. So, Katie takes him upstairs, and we're like, "What the hell was that? What was that?" And Icarus is just under the table like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah.
So as if that's not weird enough, like, what did he see that he felt like he had to attack, right?
Right, because
And
he's
this is
never
like
done
2 days.
anything like that
No,
before.
and this is like 2 days after I see this thing upstairs going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Katie has him up in her room for a little bit to calm down, and then she opens her bedroom door, and we see him walking down the stairs, and Jen, he is, like, cautiously, like, slinking
Oh.
down the stairs, like, terrified. He gets to the bottom of the stairs, and he stands there. That cat, for 10 minutes, walked all the way around the living room, back and forth, trying to find whatever the fuck it was he saw. It
Oh
was
my god.
so bizarre.
Trust your pets,
Crazy.
guys. Trust your pets. Ellie has
Yeah.
been randomly, like, just getting up and growling recently. Like, it happened occasionally before, but it's been more recently, and I don't really know why, where she'll just, like, be laying on my lap or, like, sleeping next to me on the couch, and all of a sudden, she'll, like, lift her head up and just start like a low growl, like, looking
Mhm.
into the kitchen area, which is so weird because I feel like a lot of my activity happens in the kitchen. Like, when I'm
It
sitting on the
does.
couch, like, I'll hear random noises in the kitchen that I can't explain, noises. One time, I think I heard a voice from the kitchen, and my apartment's not that big, guys, like, it's like
Not at all.
740 square feet, like, it's tiny,
Yeah.
and
I have
I've
no
gotten
idea.
I've gotten pretty used to knowing what the sounds are from, like, neighbors versus what's actually in the apartment.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so we've been haunted.
I wanna know what Apollo saw,
Yeah,
but I immediately said, "I don't know what you are, but you are absolutely not welcome here."
yeah,
Because listen, I welcome activity, but if my cat reacts that way to you, get the
yeah,
fuck out of my house.
absolutely.
And we haven't had anything happen since then.
Okay,
So,
well, that's good, at least it's listening.
yeah. I mean, it's only been a couple of days too, but,
Yeah,
you know. So, that's our spooky shit.
yeah, we got some spooky shit going on.
Mhm.
So, this is the time of the year that shit tends to happen.
Yup. Do you wanna get into the episode?
Nope.
Oh, damn. Well, what are we gonna do?
That's it. Thanks for
Alright,
listening.
I'll just eat this chicken strip. We ordered from Slim Chickens.
Okay.
It's pretty good.
Never heard of it.
I'm gonna try their I'm gonna try their slim chicken sauce right now, and we'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
Hey.
Apparently, we're a food podcast now, guys.
Mhm. Mm. That is the most flavorless sauce I've ever had. I can't even pinpoint a flavor, but the chicken's good.
Okay. So,
Yeah. Alright, let's get into it.
do it.
She's known throughout Latin America as the Weeping Woman, a ghostly figure in white, forever searching for the children she lost, or the next soul to take their place. Her cries echo near rivers and moonlit roads, warning of sorrow, danger, and the weight of a tragedy that never fades. In this episode, we explore the chilling origins of La Llorona, how her legend has evolved across cultures, and why her story still haunts us today. So grab your flashlight, your nerve, and maybe don't stand too close to the water because her wail is closer than you think.
Ooh.
But first, I got some facts about Latin America.
Okay.
There are over 400 spoken languages across Latin America. While Spanish and Portuguese dominate, hundreds of indigenous languages are still spoken today. There's a festival, and this, I'm sorry, Jen, you might not want this, but I know that you have had jobs where you would.
Okay.
There's a festival where you hit your boss with a newspaper.
Oh. Yeah, I got a few past bosses I'd like to hit with a newspaper.
Yes, in Veracruz, Mexico, during Dia de los Locos, people dress in costumes and playfully swat authority figures like bosses or teachers
Oh.
with rolled up newspapers to mock, hierarchy.
I probably would have been slapped with some newspapers when I was a
Listen,
teacher.
you taught in Baltimore City schools, so you had way worse than that happen.
Yeah, very true.
And Argentina has the highest number of psychologists per capita.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Buenos Aires is often called the capital of psychoanalysis. Therapy is seen, get this, are you ready? Oh
No,
my
probably
God, does
not.
our country need this? Therapy is seen as a part of self care and intellectual growth, not something to be ashamed of.
Oh
America,
my god.
hello.
Yeah, no, I have some thoughts on that. I want to stop the stigmatism, and I know I can't single-handedly, obviously, but behind, like, therapy and taking care of your mental health because it's better than what it used to be, but it is still something that's very hushed and not talked about, and I am always so fucking open about my therapy and, like, the shit I do in it and, like, my mental health problems because I just don't feel like it's something that you should be ashamed of. Like, everybody has issues, and in fact, you should brag if you are in therapy because you recognize the issues that you have and you are trying to get help.
Yeah. Fun fact, the last thing my mother said to me before, I never heard from her again, it's been almost 8 years, was, "If you think talking about your mental illness on Facebook is okay, then you have more problems than you think."
Well, I mean, you do have
And
more problems than you think, but that's not one of
I don't I don't know that I do have more problems than I think because I feel like I'm pretty fucking aware of my problems.
That's true. That's true. You and me
Um,
both. I think that's the
what's
problem. I
funny
think we're too aware of our problem.
right. I like to be sometimes I like to just be a little less aware in general.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
But I was talking to someone recently and I shared something about something that my therapist told me that I should be doing, and then that person, like, made, like, a joke, and it wasn't, like, an inappropriate joke, but it was and then he, like, immediately stopped and was like, "Oh my god, I am so sorry. You just, like, shared this really personal thing with me." And I was like, "No, no, you're fine. Like, this isn't that personal. Like, I talk about being in therapy all the time. Like,
Mhm.
it's not that personal."
It's sad to me that my mother thinks that it's not okay to talk about her
Ugh.
mental health struggles.
Well, she doesn't think she has them.
True. Anyway, enough about my mom.
Sorry. I didn't mean to
I
derail you on my soapbox.
no, I brought her up. So I do have some scary facts.
Okay.
There are entire towns built on top of mass graves in Mexico City.
That's pretty common.
So Mexico City is built over ancient Aztec ruins and burial sites. During construction projects, even today, bones are regularly unearthed beneath homes, schools, and sidewalks. I get that that happens pretty often, but I wouldn't want to fuck with like old Aztec spirits.
True, true. Because that
Yeah.
happens in St. Augustine, there's unmarked graves that are beneath the city. Savannah's another common one where there's a ton of unmarked graves underneath of Savannah, and I'm sure there's other cities in the US that have that as well.
Yeah. Okay. In Bolivia, there is a twisted form of ritual sacrifice. Some legends claim that workers have buried humans, usually unwilling victims, alive in construction foundations. Bless buildings and protect them from collapse. These are called sustos. And while rare, reports still persist.
Yeah, I don't
That's
like
fucked
that.
up. I
That
don't like that at all.
not a fan, not a fan.
Mm-mm.
No, thank you.
No. And finally, the legend of El Vampiro de Guadalajara tells of a man who drank blood to gain immortality and was eventually staked through the heart and buried beneath a tree. The tree reportedly still grows crooked and bleeding red sap, Some believe the myth was born from real accounts of a serial killer who drained the victims of their blood in the 1800s.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. It says red sap. I guess I forgot to look up if red sap is a thing
I
or
think
if
it's
that's unusual.
I don't think it's common, and I could be completely wrong. What did my friend Jordan said something the other day at book club, and I don't remember what it was, but I literally said that should be the disclaimer for my life, and it was something like, I don't remember where I heard it, and I don't know how accurate it is, but blah, 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 and then, like, she went on to say what it was, and I was just like I cracked up because 'cause I'm like, "That's everything because I consume so much media where I'm like, I don't remember where I heard this or read this or watched it, but here's what I remember about it," and I have not fact checked it at all, so I have
Yeah,
no further information for you, but
that's funny.
I do believe that red sap is a thing. I don't think it's very common, but I think it is a thing.
Okay, let's get into the origins.
Okay.
The legend of La Llorona didn't begin with a ghost. It began with a collision of cultures, beliefs, and power. Long before her cries echoed along riversides, the seeds of her story were already rooted deep in the soil of Mesoamerica. In pre colonial times, the Aztecs told stories of a spectral figure who walked the night, wailing for her lost children. This figure may have been inspired by the goddess Sahuacotl, a powerful maternal deity who represented both childbirth and death. According to early records from Spanish missionaries, Sahuacotl was said to appear in the capital of Tenochtitlan, howling in anguish and warning that her children, the Aztec people, were doomed. Some accounts describe her as a harbinger of the empire's downfall, foreshadowing the arrival of the Spanish conquistadors in the early 1500s. When Hernan Cortez and his army arrived, the Aztec Empire fell swiftly and violently. Indigenous communities across Latin America were plunged into chaos, grief, and displacement. In that cultural rupture, the legend of La Llorona transformed, absorbing the pain of colonization, the loss of identity, and the complexities of conquest.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not know any of this. By the late 16th century, the story took on new dimensions. One of the most enduring versions tells of a beautiful indigenous woman who fell in love with a wealthy Spanish conquistador. She bore him children, believing they would one day be a family. But he betrayed her, abandoning her for a Spanish noblewoman.
What a douchebag. Fuck him.
Right. Talk about a
Fuck
dick.
fuck him.
But she wasn't all that great anyway, because devastated and cast aside, the woman, overcome with grief and desperation, drowned her children in a river. When she realized what she had done, she succumbed to sorrow and died soon after. But her soul did not rest. Condemned to wander for eternity, she became La Llorona, the weeping woman forever searching for the children she lost. I do not know how you are overcome with desperation and then you drown your kids, and then
Yeah,
afterwards you're like, "Oh shit, I just drowned my kids." What?
I never really got that because I don't at least I don't think that the children weren't like newborns, right? Like they were
Mhm,
kids. They
mhm.
weren't like babies. Like, I could if
I
you were
believe
telling
so.
me that they were like babies, then you could go into the fact that, like, okay, postpartum, not being treated, like, some crazy shit can happen in postpartum, and that's not really you.
Well, postpartum can last years gone untreated too,
That's true.
so
That is true.
and going untreated, I guess you're more likely for postpartum psychosis,
Yeah. So it could be
where a lot
something
of
like
that stuff
that.
happens, but
Yeah.
okay. As the tale spread throughout colonized Latin America, it evolved into a cautionary legend, often aimed at women and children. For women, It warned of the dangers of disobedience,
Oh,
forbidden love, and stepping outside of societal roles. Oh
fuck
no!
that shit.
For children, it was a ghost story with a purpose. Behave, stay close to home. Don't stray too far off from the safety of the village, or La Llorona might find you first, which
And
is a
that I get.
fucked up way to get
I
your
mean, it
kids to
is.
listen.
It is. But that's something that's very has happened a lot in history. Like there's a lot of these like folklore and legends and myths that have all stemmed from teaching your children a lesson or like scaring them into obedience, which still fucked up, but more common, I guess.
Yeah, she was no longer just a woman in mourning. She was a reflection of cultural trauma, maternal despair, and of the enduring wounds of colonization. Her cry became a symbol echoing across time and geography, as haunting as the history that gave birth to her. Okay, we're going to talk about regional variations now.
Okay.
La Llorona may have been born in the aftermath of conquest, but her voice didn't remain bound to one place or one meaning. As her story moved through generations and across borders, it shifted, becoming slightly different in every region. The whale stayed the same, but the message changed. In Mexico, she is most often described as a woman in white seen near bodies of water, her cries piercing the night air. Her presence is wildly understood as a harbinger of death. If you hear her weeping close by, it means she's far away. But if her voice sounds distant, she might be right behind you,
Ooh,
which I thought was fascinating.
I don't like that. I'm I'm not a fan.
No?
No.
All right. For many, her spirit is less about punishment and more about a warning, an omen to be heeded, not challenged. In the American Southwest, especially in New Mexico and Texas, La Llorona takes on more of a menacing role. Often seen drifting near dry riverbeds or arroyos. Now, I had to look up an arroyo because I had no idea what it was.
What is
An arroyo is a dry riverbed that is like dry seasonally.
Oh,
And
okay.
then I guess the rain comes in like as the seasons change and then it'll fill up and then it like kind of dries out again.
Okay.
Yeah. So she becomes a figure of active danger, chasing trespassers, luring the curious, and instilling fear in children who wander too far. In these areas, her story blends with the older indigenous beliefs of local ghost lore, evolving into a uniquely borderland specter, one that embodies themes of displacement, lost heritage, and fractured identity.
Okay.
In Venezuela and Colombia, her legend diverges sharply from maternal grief. Instead of mourning her children, she's full of rage, targeting unfaithful men.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Here, La Llorona is no longer a tragic mother. She is an avenger. Her cry is not sorrowful, but furious. She's known to appear on dark roads, trailing behind cheating husbands or ambushing those who disrespect women.
Yes.
This version casts her less as a ghost and more of a supernatural enforcer of justice.
I wonder if this reason is why our president doesn't like Spanish people, because maybe he has been haunted by La Llorona. Yeah,
Maybe.
I just cracked it, guys. I
Yeah.
figured it out.
Okay. In Guatemala, El Salvador, and parts of Central America, the tale splits again. In some regions, she is pitied, a cursed soul punished for an act of despair, doomed to roam the earth. In others, she is feared as a malevolent spirit who lashes out at the living. Locals sometimes describe her as a shapeshifter or a hollow eyed phantom who floats just above the ground, hovering near rivers, forests, or even modern roads. In these places, the story is more fluid, shaped by the fears of the time and the needs of the culture. That's so interesting to me that, like, a whole legend just changes based on the needs of the culture, whatever it may be at the time.
Yeah, that is it's fascinating how that kinda I mean, that's kinda how legends happen, though, in general. Like, I feel like they
Yeah,
evolve over time. Changes happen to them based on what's
it's
going on.
it's just funny to me to hear of, like, this, like, curse or ghost or something, like, evolving to the needs of culture, like, that
Yeah,
culture needs it. You know what
yeah,
it's the part that, like, culture needs it in any way, shape, or form. But then to say it's like, "Oh, it's pretty fluid."
yeah, true.
Whatever we need to fear the most today.
That's a long list.
Yeah. Maybe all the ICE agents are
I know.
La
I mean,
Llorona.
we're already getting canceled because this episode. Because how dare we talk about something that's Hispanic?
Yeah. And by the way, don't tell me you love Jesus if you hate Jesus, your neighbor. Sorry.
And
Sorry.
don't tell me that you want a Christian American to perform at the Super Bowl halftime show because I hate to break this to y'all, but Bad Bunny is Christian and an American. So say what you really mean, that you don't
Jen,
want a Spanish person who doesn't
he
speak your
he's
language.
he's not he's not American, he's from Puerto Rico, man. That's not America.
When people say that, I'm like mind blown. Like, how do you fucking not know basic geography and understanding of what is part of the United States?
I don't know, but one time Trump said that he talked to the president of the Virgin
Oh my god,
Islands, which would be
would
him.
be him.
Mhm.
Got derailed a little bit.
Across all these regions, migration has played a key role in the legend's survival. Families carried La Llorona with them as they moved northward across the border, or from rural villages into cities. Her story, retold around kitchen tables and backyard fires, adapted to new landscapes. Whether haunting a colonial village, a desert trail, or a concrete drainage ditch behind a suburban neighborhood, La Llorona remained rooted in the same core emotion, unresolved sorrow. And yet, there's something universal about her. She appears wherever there's water, wherever there's loss, and wherever fear can travel by word of mouth. Her variations reflect the cultures that tell her tale. Some see her as a monster, others as a martyr. But in every version, she lingers just out of sight, crying not only for what she lost, but for what we've inherited through her story.
I think that was one of the
Okay.
things that threw me the most about the movie, La Llorona, is that it didn't like, she didn't have to be in water. Like, that was kind of always the thing that I believed, that she had to be in water. Like, she couldn't get you unless she was in water.
Or near it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that was kind of the thing that, like, threw me about that movie, is that she could kinda go wherever.
I haven't seen the movie in so long, I'd almost have to rewatch it.
I just recently watched it, and she can go wherever she wants.
Okay.
I mean, there's definitely water in the movie, but
Is
she
it
doesn't have
is
to
it that
be.
is it that the first time you encounter her, she's by water and
It
then she can
might
follow you?
it might be because I think she was, at least for, like, the family, the kid that she attached herself to was by water, I think, but I don't know. I always thought it was more water involved. It was a
Hmm.
great movie, but that, as my
Yeah.
over analytical self knowing about, like, legends and stories, I was like, wish that was played into it a little bit more, like, because I think that's, like, the terrifying part about the legend, is that you think to yourself you're safe if you just stay away from water, but then you don't realize how much you are near water. Like, a
Mhm.
fucking water bottle. Like, she could fucking just pop up out of the water bottle. Like, that would have been pretty cool to do,
Your toilet.
personally. Yeah, your toilet. You gotta piss in a toilet. I mean, I guess you could piss in a bucket. Does it have to be
Does
water?
that
Could it be
I was gonna
liquid?
say, does then that piss become water and she can come through that?
Yeah, that's
'Cause you never know. Maybe it's
yeah,
just all liquids.
that
Like,
would be
maybe orange juice
terrifying.
isn't safe. Vodka, wine? Oh my god, Jen.
Oh, no. Kelly, take it back.
I take it back.
Take it
It's not the
back.
wine.
It's
It
not
can't
the
be
wine.
the alcohol kills her, so it can't
Yes,
be the
the
wine.
alcohol
Yeah,
is
nope,
blessed
yep.
by Jesus.
That by Jesus himself, he turned water into wine. It is a blessed holy drink. You are correct.
Exactly. He
Yes,
he turned water into wine to stop La Llorona from hurting people. So wine
absolutely.
is safe.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, now we're gonna look at La Llorona in pop culture. So once a story has lingered long enough in whispered warnings and late night retellings, it finds its way into the mainstream. La Llorona, with her instantly recognizable image and chilling backstory, has become a staple of horror media around the world. But as her story moves from riversides to the red carpet, it doesn't always come with its cultural weight intact. In 2019, The Curse of La Llorona introduced her to a global horror audience as part of the Conjuring cinematic universe. The film leaned heavily into jump scares and classic ghost tropes: a cursed woman in white, a priest, and frightened children. While the movie helped boost awareness of legends, critics noted that it simplified and even distorted La Llorona's deeper folkloric roots, reducing centuries of storytelling into a Hollywood formula, which is pretty much what Hollywood does.
Yeah.
Other television shows have taken a more nuanced and playful approach. Supernatural tackled the legend in its very first episode, casting her as a vengeful spirit who targets unfaithful men. In the TV show Grimm, which, by the way, we met these people at
We have.
Paracon.
With no
We
idea
have.
who they were at the time, but
Not at
we did
all.
meet them.
We did. So they portrayed La Llorona as a Wesson, which in the TV series Grimm is a supernatural entity or monster.
Okay.
So they portrayed her as a Wesson with a tragic origin, blending folklore with creature mythology. Even Ghost Adventurers and BuzzFeed Unsolved have covered La Llorona investigations, visiting supposed hotspots and sharing first-hand
Something just
witness
beep.
accounts. Beeped.
Yeah, I just heard a beep. There was like a beep. You didn't hear that?
Mm-mm.
Something beeped.
I hear no beep. How loud was the beep?
I mean, loud enough that I heard it clearly as a beep.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't have my REM pod out.
No,
It didn't sound like the
you
REM pod?
know, it kinda did. It now that you I couldn't place it, but now that you say that, it kinda sounded like the not the beep when something's interacting with it, but the beep that it's inactive. Where is your REM pod?
I think it's over here. Nope, not there.
Is it on?
It's gonna make noise because I'm picking it up.
But it was turned on?
It was on. It was in this 3-drawer thing
You
over there.
yeah, I saw you literally pull it out.
But it didn't originally when I touched it, it didn't
No,
originally
it
go off,
didn't.
but
Not
it is on. Alright, we're gonna put it over here and see what happens.
that was weird. 'Cause you used to just have it out on your shelf, but
I
it
know.
was in a it was in a fucking drawer.
Yeah. Okay, if you're in here, whatever you are, unless you're that thing that Apollo saw, get the fuck out if you are. If you go near that thing, you can touch the antenna, and it'll make it go off. Feel free. Did it go off?
I heard it a little bit. Yeah,
I don't hear it. Are you hearing it go off?
I thought I heard it a little bit, like, if it was, like, Something
Oh,
was kind of going towards it a little bit, but then moving away really quickly.
okay, well,
Well, it's on.
it's on. Where were we?
I don't know. That is weird as fuck.
It beeps when you turn it on. I
Right.
wonder if that was it turning on that you heard.
Okay. So I want to say this because so I trust Kelly with every fiber of my being, but there is always this small skeptical part of me when we're recording and shit happens that I'm like, well, I can't see your hands. And like maybe this like again, not in any way, shape, or form thinking that Kelly is doing that or faking anything, but
No, but that's
there's
what that's the sign of a good skeptic, is that
exactly.
you
There's
have
this
to think, yeah.
voice in my head that's like, well, you didn't see that, maybe. But we have been recording for an hour and 12 minutes. And I know the episode probably won't be that long because we go off on a lot of tangents randomly that will be cut out. But we have been recording for an hour and 12 minutes at this point. And that REM pod did not go off. And just randomly, I heard that beep and she fucking opened the drawer that it was closed into and it was sitting there on.
And you saw me open the drawer.
Yes, I can see
Yeah.
her open the drawer, and I heard the fucking beep. The drawer is away from where she is. There is no plausible explanation as to why that thing turned itself on randomly. None.
Mm-mm. That is weird.
Holy fuck.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Alright, where was I?
I I don't remember. I got
Okay.
so distracted.
Online, YouTube creators and amateur paranormal investigators frequently feature La Llorona in their explorations, particularly in regions like New Mexico, southern Texas, and Mexico City. Often filmed at night near rivers or remote bridges, these videos range from theatrical reenactments to shaky handheld footage of distant weeping. Some creators claim to have captured disembodied cries or eerie figures, though skeptics argue the line between evidence and entertainment is increasingly blurred. But her influence isn't limited to jump scares and ghost hunting videos. La Llorona has also appeared in music, visual art, and literature. Poets and songwriters use her story as a symbol of grief and longing. Painters often depict her draped in white, her face obscured or twisted in sorrow. That's another thing. If this thing had been on when we were
Right.
recording, it would have beeped every 5 minutes to let us
Yeah,
know. It's
because
how it keeps itself on.
that's what it does. Oh, I Kelly, no, I'm convinced.
I didn't even hear it beep.
There is no plausible explanation for that, none whatsoever.
I didn't even hear it beep because my headphones were on
Yeah,
and I was talking.
yeah,
I'm glad you caught it.
me too. I'm glad I said something.
Yeah.
So we would have heard it in 5 minutes.
And it was also sitting in that drawer up. There's nothing on top of it, nothing
No,
had fallen
nothing.
on it,
Like,
nothing. It
I
just
could see when you opened the drawer, I could see into the drawer and I saw it sitting there.
yeah.
Crazy.
I just don't know why it didn't go off when I picked it up. That is weird.
That
It didn't
that
go
is weird too.
it was a delayed reaction when I
Yeah.
picked it up. Okay. Sorry, guys. Getting exciting around here. Also, the sun
I'm
is setting and
excited.
I'm sitting in my room and I have not turned a light on, so it's just getting increasingly
It is. I can
darker and
tell, like, the back
darker.
part is very dark and eerie looking.
Mhm.
We are going
Perfect.
off on so many tangents. I'm sorry, but y'all know what you get when you come here.
Yeah, you do.
You love it, hopefully.
Okay. Painters often depict her draped in white, her face obscured, twisted in sorrow. In academic circles, she's studied as a metaphor for colonization, gendered violence, and generational trauma, an echo of real suffering turned mythic. Even children's books have reimagined La Llorona in gentler ways.
Mm.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully.
Some present her not as a threat, but as a misunderstood spirit. Others use her as a moral compass, an emotional touchstone for kids navigating fear, empathy, and cultural heritage. The evolution of her image in pop culture reflects a broader truth. La Llorona isn't just a ghost, she's a canvas. Whether terrifying or tragic, Simplified or sanctified, she adapts to the median and the moment. Each retelling reshapes her, and each appearance keeps her alive. But the more she's featured through special effects and soundtracks, the more we risk losing what made her powerful in the first place and the weight of history behind her cry. And that's
Mm,
very true because now
yeah.
it's very Hollywood kind of whitewash.
Yeah,
Forget it is
absolutely.
about colonization.
I was surprised to learn that it was because I don't know more than just, like, the general theory of La Llorona and to hear colonization added to it, but I'm not surprised that it has been whitewashed because what the fuck hasn't at this point?
Right. Okay. I have some reports of real encounters.
Mm, we love real encounters.
Yeah. It's one thing to hear a ghost story passed down through generations, but it's another to feel like you've become a part of it.
Yeah.
Across the Americas, from dusty desert highways to quiet riverbanks in small towns, people have reported encounters with a woman who seems to match La Llorona's description. Tall, veiled, or dressed in white, always crying. Most of the time, the sound comes first. In San Antonio, a man driving home late from a night shift said he heard crying from the side of the road near San Pedro Creek. When he slowed down to check, he saw a figure standing near the guardrail, facing away from him. Her hair was long, her dress dragging along the gravel. As he approached, the crying stopped. The woman turned slightly, but her face was empty. He swerved and fled. Police found nothing at the scene when he called it in. In New Mexico, along the Rio Grande, several campers reported hearing sobbing late at night, followed by splashing sounds as if someone were moving through a shallow river.
Hmm.
But when they investigated, there were no footprints or any sign of anyone being in the area. Then one of the campers, a teen girl, claimed to have seen something, a shadowy figure near the water, silently watching them before fading into the mist.
No, thank you.
Don't like it.
No, don't like that at all. I don't
Nope.
I don't wanna be watched, especially out in public where it could be a real person because people are far more scary than ghost.
Yeah. Then there are the household stories, the kind whispered in kitchens after midnight. A woman in Mexico City recalled hearing crying outside her apartment window for weeks after her divorce. At first, she thought it was a neighbor. Then she noticed it always happened around 3 a.m., even on holidays. I don't know what holidays would have to do with it. It's like a weird thing to point out.
Yeah.
But one night, she opened the curtains and saw nothing but fog. The crying, however, got louder. She moved 3 months later.
Mm, that's fair.
It's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
These stories tend to follow a pattern. The appearance of a weeping woman near the water, sudden coldness, unexplained fear, and in some cases, lost time or disorientation. Children are said to be especially vulnerable. Some accounts describe children wandering towards rivers or creeks as if in a trance, drawn by a voice that only they can hear. So, in neighborhoods with strong oral traditions, children are often warned not to answer voices calling their name at night. Some are told to place salt or holy water near their windows to keep her out, and others are told to never play near water after sunset, not because of the current, but because of who might be waiting.
I mean, that's probably a pretty good rule
Yeah,
of thumb anyway, and not to play near water after sunset. I
yep,
mean, that's how Jaws started, come on.
it is. So, we kind of have a little bit of skeptics versus believers here.
Of
So, we're going
course.
to go through this real quick. So for some, La Llorona is unquestionably real. For others, she's just a story, one that gets louder in the dark. But whether feared, dismissed, or dissected, the Weeping Woman has inspired passionate debate across cultures, generations, and belief systems. Skeptics point to a familiar explanation of cultural imprinting. When a story is told over and over again, it becomes part of the landscape. Children raised with warnings about La Llorona may become more prone to interpreting natural sounds such as wind through the trees, distant coyotes, or rushing water as supernatural. It's not lying, they argue, it's the expectation shaping perception.
Yeah.
There's also the psychological angle. The human brain is wired to find patterns and assign meaning, especially when emotions run high. A lonely road at night, the sound of crying, a glimpse of white in your peripheral vision, combine those ingredients with fear, and your mind fills in the rest. Add a dash of sleep paralysis or a hypnagogic hallucination. Did I say that
That
right?
word's hard. That word's hard,
It
isn't
is
it?
hard. Hypnagogic hallucination. And the figure of La Llorona becomes alarmingly vivid.
I joke with her because when I had to say that word several times during the fear episode we did in October, I kept forgetting how to pronounce it.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
legit difficult word
It's a challenging
if you're not
word.
used to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Believers counter with something that can't be measured: consistency. From rural Mexico to urban Los Angeles, people who have never met and don't share the same language report eerily similar encounters. They describe the same sounds, the same sensations, the same figure: long dress, long hair, sorrow that feels almost physical. And they insist what they saw or heard or felt was not imagined. In some cases, it changed their lives. Some paranormal researchers believe La Llorona may be more than a ghost, perhaps a manifestation of collective grief, a kind of emotional echo created by centuries of pain. In that view, she doesn't need to be real in the traditional sense to have real power. She's a psychic scar replaying itself in places where suffering runs deep. Others suggest a more literal presence, a restless spirit trapped by trauma, drawn to places where children live, where water flows, or where sorrow lingers. These investigations cite EVPs, sudden drops in temperature, and a personal experience as evidence that something is out there, and La Llorona might just be one of the many spirits drawn to the veil between the worlds. I did think the psychic scar was very interesting.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like so I don't believe in La Llorona, but I'm not saying that the experiences that people have reported with her are false. I think it's a legend that people have passed down, and what
Mhm.
they have then experienced could be something else paranormal.
Right.
And they're
I
just
agree.
attributing La Llorona to that because of the stories that they have been told about it. So that's kind of where my thought process is. I feel like I kind of believe that with a lot of these like legends and urban myths and all of that.
Yeah. I think that there's probably a third group, people who aren't sure what to believe, but still
Yeah,
lock their windows just the same.
probably.
And that brings us to the end of this episode about La Llorona, a spirit whose sorrow transcends time, geography, and even belief.
If you like what you heard today and all other days, please go to wherever you listen to podcasts and rate, review, and subscribe because your support means a lot. I know it only takes you a second or two to do it, but it really means a lot to us and we appreciate it and we love all of our reviews, at
We
least so
do.
far, because they've all been positive. Don't be mean.
Yeah.
If you don't like us, just don't listen again. Don't be mean.
If you are mean, you will be featured in a
You
future
will,
episode.
for sure. Yeah, we will. Like, we're actually waiting for that to happen. The first, like, mean review or comment or whatever that we get, we will absolutely call you out. And if we eventually end up getting more of those when we're, famous podcasters, because apparently, according to our tarot reading earlier today, that's going to happen. Then we'll probably have
Right?
like a whole episode or like bonus material where we just read mean comments. 'Cause I
Yeah.
have to I have to make a joke about it, otherwise I will, like, cry internally
Well,
and be
and I
depressed.
feel like If you think you're gonna say something meaner to me than Jen has said to me,
That's fair. Yeah. I'm pretty mean to her sometimes,
yeah,
but it's out of
yeah,
love.
it
But if you're
is.
not coming out of love, then fuck off.
I tell you what, if you're not coming out of love, but you took the time to write a hate comment, it's actually romantic.
It is actually romantic.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Not My Ghost Podcast and on Facebook at Not My Ghost, Not My Problem.
And
Also
TikTok.
TikTok at Not My Ghost Podcast.
Yep,
We
all of
post
those.
updates, photos, more
And
fun
I
things.
have been getting better at posting and doing more fun things on
Yes.
all of the social medias.
Yeah.
So please go appreciate all of them because I put a lot of work and effort. And I get a little sad when I like do something and I get like zero comments or interaction with it. So please go interact with all of the shit I post because it's a lot of work, guys. It's a lot
It
of
is.
work. So go do that. Go like it, interact and comment and show me some love because I'm a very sensitive person. If you haven't figured that out already.
It's true.
It is. And if you want even more spooky content, please go join our Patreon because we give you a lot of bonus content. It's wonderful. And you get an extra episode every month. You get a live with us every month or most
Yeah.
months when people don't get in serious accidents and hurt themselves.
Sorry.
It happens.
I wish I could say that doesn't happen often, but,
It it does.
it does happen more often than I would like. Also, you can find that Patreon page at patreon.com/ not my ghost, not my podcast. Not my ghost, not my podcast. What the fuck was that?
I don't know.
That would be Facebook, what is happening? Patreon.com/ not my ghost, not my problem. I'd get there eventually, I knew it. I
She
knew I'd
got
get there eventually.
she got there in the end, everyone. It's fine. And if you have a spooky story and you haven't emailed it to us, what are you doing with your life?
Yeah.
And you can email them to us at notmyghostpodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you for joining us on this sorrowful exploration of La Llorona. Remember, as you wander near dark waters under the moon's reflection, keep this in mind.
If it's not your ghost,
It's not your problem.
until next time, stay spooky.
And stay skeptical.